Hey there, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Making Sales Social Live, coming to you from the Social Sales Link virtual studios. I'm Bob Woods, Bryn Tillman, and Stan Robinson Jr. are here. What's going on, people?
Hey, excited to
Oh,
talk about what's not broken.
yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. So, let's just get right into it. LinkedIn's algorithm is driving change in how we, as sales pros, use this to start sales conversations. So passive exposure is out, intentional interaction is in. Vanity metrics are out, thank God. Relevance and engagement are in. So we are going to talk about how all of this is working now with the new LinkedIn algorithm. We have a free ebook that details all the stuff about the new algorithm. It's at socialsaleslink.com/new algo, socialsaleslink.com/new algo. But today, we're going to help you understand the new algorithm because once you understand the shift, you'll regain control over your presence on LinkedIn. And that's something that a lot of people are talking about is they don't feel like that they're being seen everywhere. And you know something? That's right. They're actually not being seen everywhere. But when you do things the way that we're going to teach you how to do it, you're going to be seen by the people you want to have sales conversations with. That's why I said all the vanity metrics now are just, are just not good anymore because you don't want vanity metrics. You want to be that micro influencer that we used to talk about a while ago. And in fact, it's kind of funny. All of that micro influencer stuff is now coming back, and we talked about that like 2 years ago or something like that. Now,
I mean, probably for the last 12 years we've been
yeah,
talking about. Oops,
true, yeah, in some form or another, yeah,
I have the yep, yeah. So yeah, I mean, micro influencer is really a powerful term when you think about how you've got your network and you've got your community, and if you've curated it smartly, you can now influence it, and that's really the key. So excited to talk about this.
yeah, 100%. So we're going to get the QR code up there if you want access to the ebook, as well as down there, socialsaleslink.com/new algo. So we've already kind of covered this shift from a broadcast mentality, which, as being a broadcast journalism once upon a time myself, I am completely familiar with all of those things when that comes to that kind of one-way broadcasting, to now really about sharing what is important to your audience so that you can have that you can have that two-way conversation. Rather, I can't tell you how many times in the newsroom we'd get calls from people after a broadcast where it's like, no, 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 just leave them, go to voicemail or whatever. It's the exact opposite here. You want to have conversations. So like I said before, it rewards the new algo relevance, engagement, and behavior that signals real interest between you and other human beings. So this ain't about bots. This ain't about automation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to dive in. Should
Yeah, let's dive in.
All right, let's do it. So, do you want to start with how it's really now relationship first visibility?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was kind of rolling into with that. I mean, you really want to shift your mindset, getting away from broadcasting to starting conversations. Relationship versus first visibility is what it's all about. It's
Yeah,
about relationships. Yeah, go ahead, Burn.
yeah, I'd love to start on this. I think this is critical. So, what is relationship visibility? For relationship first visibility? Well, it really, first of all, starts with a consistent message to your targeted, your intended relationships, right? So, we want to make sure that we're attracting the right people, that we are making sure that the content is resonating with the right people. And LinkedIn's new algorithm, this 360 brew, is designed to do that. That your profile tells a consistent story, your engagement, the content you're sharing, the people that you're connecting with. All of that has to really fall under one umbrella that LinkedIn can define clearly. And that's really the folks that you want to grow a relationship with. The key here is to bring it down to the lowest common denominator, right? So when we work with some folks, they're like, but I work with large companies and chief revenue officers, and I work with small business owners. For us, we kind of brought that down to revenue-driven professionals, right? When you've got this big list of who am I serving, you need to come into this with the lowest common denominator so that every single person that you serve will relate with that message. And that, to me, is where that relationship first visibility comes in, that I have defined who it is that I want to engage with, so that when they show up on my profile, in my news feed, they show up in a, based on a message I may have sent them, that every single one of them will see themselves in it.
Yep. Yeah, and that's important throughout everything. And we're going to be talking about profile and things like that in just a minute. But, I think overall, the way that you really need to think about it is we all used to chase reach once upon a time. And then other social networking platforms, you're still chasing reach. I mean, the algos are definitely kicking in and helping out and things like that. But in, in like Instagram and X, Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, you're still chasing reach there. Here, your mindset really needs to change. You need to have deliberate interaction so that you are earning the people who are seeing your content, just like you are earning the right to have a sales conversation with someone. It's the exact same thing. It's all about earning. You got to work for it. And you got to be clear, just like Bryn said, about what it is that you are looking for. And I think that dovetails really well into the second point. And that's, why you're good. And I'm putting good in air quotes here in case you can't see it, why that good content fails. And it might be good. It might be excellent content, just absolutely crisp, absolutely clear, well written. All of that stuff can be very, very good. And it is very, very good. But all content has to invite action. So all of these good posts that you have get zero engagement. Now,
so should we go to Stan, ask him what his thoughts are around that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the things that come to mind immediately are relevance and consistency. And as Bryn was talking about, you have to be super clear on who your audience is in order to make sure that you're relevant for them. And your profile needs to be consistent with your content that you're both posting and engaging with. And as Bob was just talking about, the great content alone is not enough unless you encourage people to engage with it. Because those are the signals that LinkedIn is looking for, whether it's a comment.
Yeah, because the algorithm or 360 Brew, it really can't reward silent appreciation. If you're reading a post and you're like, oh yeah, that's a good one, and then you keep going on, LinkedIn really, the 360.
Well, there is dwell time. There is definitely dwell time.
Yeah, that is true. There is dwell time, but it does value the interaction between you and your very target audience there. That 360 Brew draws that signal upon to keep distributing the post. So your content has to function as a part of a conversation, and every post should lead the reader to some kind of action, reacting, definitely commenting if you're running a poll, voting, or even just clicking in, clicking that all important see more when they see the first part of the post.
So we have a ton to cover. So
yeah, we do.
So let's quickly go through the next one because we've touched on that a little bit.
Yep.
I'll jump into your profile is an algorithmic asset.
Yes.
So I'm just going to quickly just and we'll move on from that. But ultimately, your content can show up in lots of different areas, right? Your about section is content. Your featured section has content. All of your profile should be written like a landing page, an asset page, not as a resume. And then it has to align, obviously, with your audience. Should we move to the next one, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, the only really kind of minor point I would add there is, if you've listened to us for a long time, we've always talked about how important the profile is, but now, because it influences the Algo 360 Brew directly, it is more important than ever.
True. Yeah.
Absolutely 100% more important than ever. So don't sleep on your profile, everyone. It's that
we have
simple.
profile makeover week coming up on April 16th if you're here live. So ask us about that. Awesome. Next. This is a controversial one that we're going to get pushback on.
Hopefully we will, because that means we're having a conversation. So with that, we're going to talk a little bit about the death of the cold call here. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. Here we go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to jump in just for the sake of fast, because we've got so much. The death of the cold call. This does not mean that cold calling is dead in the way that people will say you can never cold call again. But why would you cold call when you could warm it up first? Right? So here's the thing, right? When you start engaging with the people, their content, you're viewing their profile, you're connecting with them, and then you're reaching out, you have now turned a cold call into a lukewarm call. And then you've got the follow-up message once you've talked with them. And the message in the inbox back and forth actually plays into the algorithm, which is amazing to me.
Yeah. LinkedIn is really, and pardon the pun, but I can't think of another way to put it. It's really brewing up all of this stuff together, when once upon a time it was either separate or it just wasn't even, looking at it. So instead of giving you a black drip coffee, it's giving you this beautiful, well-made latte that has all types of ingredients in it, so that it all comes together to help you start sales conversations without being salesy, which is something that we forgot to say, but we should always be doing that too. But just overall, it's all about using content to remove resistance. What's the first thing that happens on most cold calls? Resistance.
I love it. So we're going to talk about what really works in the algorithm. Stan, you want to jump into that one?
Yeah.
Even when you connect with someone for the first time, just keep in mind that when you make that connection, there's a window that opens where they will be seen, or will be much more likely to see the content that you're posting. So just be cognizant of that. 2-week window.
2 weeks.
2-week window. So knowing that, you can plan strategically around that when you accept their invitations, etc. And then in turn, what you post and what you engage with.
So what is LinkedIn tracking, Stan? What is it tracking? On page 7 of our book.
Yep. So all types of engagement. Likes are easy, but they're lightweight as far as the algorithm goes. Comments, much more. When you comment, you're actually adding something substantive to the conversation. Okay. And as we always say, it should not be promotional. It needs to add value to the conversation. If someone saves your content, that's the gold standard. And so we're Brendan, Bob, you may be experimenting with this also, but when you publish content that people can refer back to as a reference, at the bottom, you could encourage, hey, if you don't have time to read through this now, go ahead and save it so you can always refer back to it. Just click the save button.
I love that. I haven't actually, except when I talked about how to use the save button. I don't do that. Do you think that's a good CTA in a post? Click the 3 dots and click the bookmark to save?
I think Brad Pierce has tried that. Just pick someone particular, and he got some good.
That's
Some good.
awesome.
So it's something that's worth testing. But it's
I
important.
wonder, like I'm now saving it myself, but I wonder if you saving it yourself gives it it does add to the save number, but I wonder if, I would say, let's try that. Go in and save your own content.
See what happens.
Can't hurt, hopefully.
Who knows? Yeah, no, I don't think it will. I definitely don't think it will. But I love that. Anything else that they're tracking, like consistency and other things like that?
Yes, Dan, go ahead and take that.
Yeah, just making sure that you're in contact with people that are relevant in terms of DMs, in terms of engagement, people that fit your ICP, your ideal customer profile. That's where you want to spend most of your time. And then LinkedIn's, their algorithm is tracking so many things we don't even think of. Even who's looking at your profile.
Yep.
And whose profiles you're looking at.
Yep.
Which is so interesting.
Yeah, all that stuff really bring things together. And also just getting back to consistency, that's also about how often you post. And we never suggest, posting multiple times a day and doing all that crazy type of stuff. I think the most recent things that I've been seeing has been 3 times a week is like ideal. You really don't need to be going absolutely, bat crazy on this stuff. So
that's interesting, because that is also the number that I'm learning is the ideal blog posts for your website is 3 a week. So interesting, not every day.
Right. Yeah. Not every day, which actually takes a little bit of pressure off of you, and you can actually devote some more of that time that you would be with writing, even if you're using AI to help you out with the writing, to actually do those other things, like commenting on other people's posts and doing that type of thing that can really help you more directly than just putting out a post. Although posts are definitely still important. Don't get me wrong. You definitely want to do that. But like I said, 3 times a week, start devoting some of that time that you would be for writing to doing some of these other things.
Yeah. Can I share just a quick little side tip on engagement? Because you can get lost in the homepage, in the newsfeed really fast, right? Like you could be down that rabbit hole, and looking, even if you're searching for great content, and you're also going to likely start engaging on content because you saw something that of, and it breaks the algorithm brain inside it, right? Like, so if you go and engage, let's say you sell telephone systems and you go in and engage on a multi-level marketing, whatever, right? LinkedIn, we confuse them and we confuse the algorithm, which is so interesting to me. So what you can do, most people don't realize, is if you go to the search bar in the free LinkedIn and just hit enter, and you can actually put in titles of people that you want to engage with, but you can go to posts as a filter, and you can have latest posts of the industries that you serve, and you can even choose first degree connection and people you follow and bookmark that. And then every day you can go there and you will get a list of the right content from the right people so that you don't have to get down that rabbit hole, right? It's a very clear path of engagement with the right content that can really help you in mastering this 360 brew.
Yeah. That's a golden tip that's worth going back and listening to again, because it will save you so much time.
Or come to every third Thursday at 1 p.m. We have complimentary open office hour. We have, for our members, we have coaching twice a week. For our free members, which anyone can be, we invite you to be if you are not. You go to socialsaleslink.com/membership. Every third Thursday, you can come in and say, show me that little trick on how to create my custom post feed. And we'll help you walk through. You can share your screen and we can do it with you. So hopefully you'll join. Interesting. Kenny Madden said that saving your posts has the same impact as liking your own post. So it actually is a little bit of an impact, but less impact if it's someone else. So That's interesting. I would also make sure that for every comment you're getting on your content, that you are responding to that comment. And I will, if I see it come in, but I'm in the middle of something, I'll go in and like it. And then at the end of the day, go in and comment on each of those comments. So that also is really important, that we are responsive to the people that are engaging on our stuff.
Yep. And especially in that, what is it now? 90 minutes within that first 60 minutes or 90 minutes now?
Yeah, I'm hearing 90. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
60.
yeah, I'm hearing 92. Yeah. So LinkedIn is giving us a little bit of space there, which is a good thing. But trying your best to comment within the first 90, comment on other people's comments to your post within the first 90 minutes is what we're talking about here. So, you might want to be strategic in terms of when you're actually posting your content as well, because you don't want to post a big major piece and then it's like, oh my God, I gotta go to a meeting immediately afterwards that's going to be 5 hours long or something like that. And I pity you if you have 5 hour long meetings. But really be intentional about when you post so that you know that you have time afterwards. Brent.
LinkedIn also knows who you're sending it to from the little paper airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So if you post content and you click on the paper airplane, you can blind copy up to 10 people at a time,
mm-hmm.
And get that in front of them. It's evaluating who those people are too, which I thought that was really interesting. Like, are those people the people that would like this content that matches your point of view and what you're representing? Like it, and that's the whole point of the 360, right? It's a 360 view of everything that you're doing. Here's the thing, and we started with LinkedIn isn't broken.
Right.
And we didn't really open up with why we had this. And so as we close this out, I want to say why people are coming to us on a daily basis saying, my views are down, my engagement is down, LinkedIn is broken. And it's not. It has leveled the playing field.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Even influencers, people that would have naturally gotten an enormous amount of views simply because of the amount of people that follow them,
mm-hmm.
all have the same rules right now. They all have the same rules. So we can control this, and they've leveled the playing field. And that's why when we came up with this ebook as a team, people are saying it's broken. It's not. There is just new rules, and it allows all of us to leverage the rules at the same level. So if you go and engage with enough people, 10-to-1 ratio is the minimum. You engage with 10 people for every post, you will have the same or similar reach as someone that might have 100,000 followers that posts that content, right? It's all about you proactively going out, and we'll go back to that relationship first kind of visibility, right? It's not just the vanity matrix. It's who's engaging, who you are engaging with. A relationship is a two-way engagement, back to Bob's point. That's what this is, right? And so influencers that are not active, they're just posting, well, actually, they're going to think it's broken because they have huge reach. And now you who know how to do this will outplay some of the bigger names in the industry. Okay.
Excellent.
That's my rant.
Anything else, Dan? Because I've got one little thing that I want to wrap up with, but do you have any final thoughts?
That's just a great example of knowledge is power. When you know what the new rules are, you're able to take advantage of them, so to speak, and make them work for you, instead of simply getting slapped around by them like often happens.
Yeah, exactly. So that old commercial, you used to say no rules, just right. I think for us, it's new rules, just right.
Love that.
So So I think what all this comes down to is a fundamental mind shift when it comes to LinkedIn. And it goes back to something that, again, if you've been following us for a little while, you've heard us say a lot. And that's attach what the prospect is worth to you and attach to you what you are worth to the prospect. There's no better way to do this by doing everything that we said. Don't chase the vanity metrics. Chase the people you want to have conversations with. So that's all fantastic stuff. When value leads, engagement follows. When engagement follows, visibility compounds. And just a final reminder for that ebook, it's at socialsaleslink.com/newalgo, all one word, NEWALGO. Again, that's socialsaleslink.com/newalgo. So I think it's time to bring us in for the proverbial landing here. So thank you for joining us here on Making Sales Social Live. We're here live every week, Mondays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, US. So put a block in your calendar for us. That would be great. We'd love that. If you're listening to this as a recording on our podcast, if you haven't subscribed yet, give us a subscribe or follow and drop us a like and a comment as well. Besides these LinkedIn Lives, we also interview leaders and experts in sales, marketing, business, and many, many more areas. So catch those episodes as well. Socialsaleslink.com/podcast is a great place to start to find all of our stuff. So when you're out and about, be sure that you're making your sales
social.
Social. Woohoo!
Excellent.